I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Who am I, you ask? I was created in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the waste of a dying world. I was bestowed with an insurmountable task: bring peace after decades of death, persecution, and chaos. I am a grandchild of war, destined to help two camps which hate has fueled for far too long. Surprisingly, I am not alone. Have an odd bunch to make the road a little more bearable. Come with me, to bring hope where there was despair, respect where there was resentment, creativity where there was destruction. I am Pinocchio, and this is my story.
Man, that guy's good looking, isn't he? Addie Marie Art, yo, look at that. She just popped out pops just like that. And she drew it almost this quick, too. It was crazy. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? Today we have, I know, it's that time of year. The other hat's retired for a while, and the pins are on the Santa hat. It's that time of year, everybody. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. I know I got to hang out with the people around here that I care about, and that's all that matters, right? You get to hang out with the people that you love, that you care about, that you're thankful for. That's what we do. So I'm going to get right to this. I have a guest today that I just met first time, and we're going to give him the floor. We're going to give him the podium, the soapbox, whatever you want to call it. Mr. Dooley, what's your issue, brother?
Well, I got plenty of them in my closet right now, and I got more coming up from the printer in Michigan. I am Mark C. Dooley, and I am the creator of the actual semi-true adventures of Mark and Dee, which is kind of a semi-autobiographical series about myself, my wife, all of our good friends from the comic cave, and our adventures, misadventures, lots of humor, lots of drama too. There's some dark moments at times, but it's all done with a lot of great humor and humanity. We are good friends that we all have each other's back when there's trouble, and how else can you live life nowadays? But when you know you've got people you love and care about, and that would a lot of them would like to be superheroes, and they don't even realize you already are superheroes. You're making your way through life. You're taking on troubles and stuff. So yeah, I do a superhero comic. We just don't wear the silly uniforms. So. Oh, your audio's cut out.
I said some of us do, but when I go to the Comic-Con, I wear my best with my sheriff's badge, and I wear the classic green hat that everybody knows, and it's branding.
Yeah.
and even the guys at Awesome Comics, I think Comics Awesome, whatever, they got like over 1 million subscribers, right?
Oh yeah.
Doug looks at me. I walk up to talk to him because I want to know how the hell you get to 1 million subscribers, right? So
yeah,
I start talking to him, and the first thing he does is he points at me like up and down, and he goes, "Branding, I like it." And it was, that's exactly what it is. I want people to recognize me, so when I go to those live events, I kind of wear that same getup,
Cool.
It's my superhero costume, man. But yeah, I totally get it.
Oh, occasionally you'll catch me wearing Joker makeup and costume. My wife this last year was Harley Quinn, and now she did not wear the bikini outfit or anything. She decided, no, I like the jester's outfit.
Yeah, the long jump.
I'm not gonna wear that everything. No way.
Well, that other costume was kind of developed for a reason.
Yeah.
Sell books on looks and not content.
That's true. That's true.
And there's a lot of that. I mean, the boob books and all that. You see them everywhere. It's like, I'm assuming it fills a niche.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I only own one. I have grandkids, so I don't buy that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like to display my books, right? And can't be displaying big old when you got grandkids. So, there's things you have to, I guess, a minefield you get to crawl through, and you try to avoid certain things. Like, I don't want my kids seeing, my grandkids seeing that yet. So I don't plaster it all over my walls at home.
Yeah. But anyway, But right now, our comics are on Kickstarter. We've got a couple of weeks left to our campaign. We have made our goal, and we're hoping to get over the top on that. We're definitely starting to find our audience because, like I said, we're not into the straightforward superhero type of thing. My stories are with a little bit of fantasy here and there. Mostly are just straight out of life, and the big problems you encounter. You won't see cosmic snaps or any of that stuff, but
Right.
maybe every now and then we'll run into Thanos, but who knows? But
Hey, that's the one thing about villains like that. You can't control where they end up. They're gonna go where they want to go, right?
That's true.
Like this green guy right here. Okay,
Yeah.
this green dude.
Yeah,
I don't have no control of him. He goes where he wants, shows up where he wants. You know.
I get your number. I get your number. So,
Yeah.
but no, I love it. Now, don't let there be no mistake about it. I love superheroes. I envy anybody who can come up with a brand new way for Batman to tear the Joker a new one. But I found out early on that I am not that guy. I'm more interested in stories about the comic book clerk who is going through a rough divorce, and he's pretty much given up on ever finding true love again, that will treat him decently. And all of a sudden then comes this beautiful girl from England who is absolutely tailor-made for him. And but he's having a rough time trying to say, well, do I want to get her mixed up in my incredibly messy life or not? And
I'm hoping the answer was yes.
Yeah. Eventually. So, but we also have a story about a homeless man who winds up trapped in a snowstorm, sleeping in his car, and the consequences that come from that. And we also have basically my own story, which is trying to become a successful comic book creator. And so I'm finally on the right track, even at this age, because I found out real early on that you need to live the life before you can actually write about it. And now I'm at that age that I've got tons and tons of stories to tell, and we're setting out on the work. Starting this week, I'm on a week's vacation, so from my regular job, and so we're just gonna get behind the drawing board and just pour into it.
Right. So let me ask you real quick: Is Mark and D based on you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
It's based on our lives. We have a companion book that's kind of covering a lot of that. It's actually it's something you can see right now on my Facebook page. It's called Genesis of a Fanboy, and it basically is covered from the time my mom introduced me to Batman and Joker, which basically instilled in me a forever fear of clowns. Can't stand them.
I'm telling you, and they haven't done a lot good with them since. You notice that?
It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse since the Joker Clayface feud. I'm telling you.
I mean, I'm looking at just like clowns in general. We still have the same two good clowns that we always had, Bozo and Ronald.
But yeah.
The rest of them are all trying to kill people. I mean, the rest of them are all trying to kill people, though.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to Happy Clowns?
Oh, float down here, Johnny. We all float down here. But she introduced me to Batman and the Joker, and of course, the Joker just absolutely frightened me to death. And then she came. She asked me, "Well, if you don't like that, how about this?" why don't we go to the subscription page? You can point out exactly what you want. So she showed me the DC subscription page, and I said, well, Green Lantern looks cool. So how about getting me a Green Lantern? So she took a couple of weeks, and then she came to me and says, well, I couldn't find the Green Lantern comic book, but I did find one with Green Lantern in it. And she gives me Justice League number 15 or something like that. It was the one with the Queen Bee. And so she literally shoved me into the deep end of the pool. So, and it was sink or swim from that point on. But she, I gotta thank her for it, because she got me started in it. She showed me how to start doing doodles and stuff like that. She was an incredible artist on her own. I've still got some of the coloring books she helped me with, and she was just really good at doing shading and things like that with colors. And but the things didn't get really interesting until November of 1965. Me and my friends were on a camping trip, which there wasn't much camping to it because we were all stuck in a shelter house in the middle of Thanksgiving winter storm.
Nice.
And so we're sitting there watching a little bitty black and white TV set, watching Rocky and Bullwinkle on a Sunday morning. I'm sitting there doing my doodles while all the kids are watching the show. And all of a sudden, in the middle of it, Batman is coming. And every kid in that shelter house turned around and went, what? And for 30 seconds, we saw this amazing premiere. I mean, they didn't even really give a clear showing of Batman and Robin. It was just like, you know, it was the big battle in the with the woolly mammoth in the pilot episode.
Right.
And then everybody just, after that was over, they all looked at me. I went, where are you guys staring at? I want a picture of Batman. I want a picture of Batman and Robin. I want the whole Justice League. I went, you Albert twins, you need to get in the back of the line. I ain't drawing a whole damn Justice League for you guys. And for the next 2.5 years, nobody bullied me. I was the most bullied kid in school because, you know, oh, he's in the comics. He draws. He's a sissy and stuff like that. And nobody bullied me for the next 2.5 years. They all had respect for a guy who knew all about the superheroes. And it was great until the show got canceled, and then it was back to business as usual.
Well, when I was looking, I mean, I did snoop a little bit at your Facebook, see who you are.
Oh.
One of the things I saw is right over your shoulder right there. It's the actual Bruce Lee Kato action figure.
Oh, yes. He's
I
right
was
up.
like, yeah, I'm going to get along with this dude.
There you go. Oh, yeah. He is our mantra. So
it is the actual Bruce Lee Kato. Yes.
Yeah. You want to, my friend.
Now, I have to admit, I don't usually get out here on shows with people that are older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm in my 60s, so, you know, it's like...
I'm 68 right now, so...
Yeah, okay, so you said, you know, me and my friends in 65, and I'm like, yeah, 65, I was probably still sucking my thumb. But you got to see it when it first came out, okay?
Yeah.
I was watching reruns of it 8 years later, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys got to see it legit when it came out, and that had to be amazing, just like it was for Star Wars fans, right? We seen Star Trek, we seen Battlestar Galactica, we seen all these models in the sky, and then Star Wars came out, and we had never seen anything like that. We were blown away, right?
Yeah, I just finished a comic strip run about our first encounter with Star Wars back in the weekend. We didn't go the very first day it opened, but we did go just a few days on Memorial Day. And
I think I stood in that line about 30 times.
Yeah, we got there real early, and because I was already warned, there are going to be lines like you've never seen for a movie in your life.
Exactly.
And there was only one theater in Indiana that was running. It was called the Eastwood Theater. It was the perfect venue because they had a Cinerama screen, 70 millimeter curved screen. You have never seen science fiction movies, especially Star Wars, unless you've seen it like that. Yes. And we got there about an hour early. There was already a few people there at the door waiting. And there was a Dairy Queen across the street. So me, my brother, and my fiance, we went over to Dairy Queen. We started eating. 15 minutes later, you could already see the line starting up. And I mean, the cars were pulling in. So we dumped everything, got over there. And by the time that was over with, the line was leading around the back of the theater and clear out the other way into the Target Airway at that time, Airway parking lot. And I'm immediately going, what kind of movie is this going to be? Because I was already thinking, I just read the first issue of the Star Wars comic adaptation by Howard Chaykin and Roy Thomas, and I was not impressed and I did find out it was a rush job.
Oh, yeah.
It was a real rush job. They only had 6 weeks to get the first issue done. They were not allowed but a glimpse of the script and the press kit.
That one.
Yeah, that one. They only got the press kit and they only got the script. No showings of the movie at all because they were still working on it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and so finally, they basically had to get it done in a hurry. And Chaykin did the best he could, I think, with such a deadline. But I
just happened to have that one handy because we did a Star Wars segment on one of our shows last weekend, and the box is right here. So I got that.
Hey, it's on hand. Here you go. But anyway, so I'm immediately going, this is not going to work out like all the other science fiction movies that came out in 1976. I mean, what would we get? We got At the Earth's Core, one of those low-budget American international things. We got Logan's Run, which I read the book before I went to see the movie.
Oops.
Yeah. The book was like 10 tons better. And then, of course, we got the god-awful King Kong movie, which I actually went back the next day to see it again because my brains and my eye couldn't convince myself that movie was as rotten as it could be. And so I should have listened to him because then I could have saved me $3. So
I remember
77. How is this one going to be any different? Right. Well, as we found out.
I was like amazed because it was weeks after it released. I lived in Minneapolis at the time.
Yeah.
And every time we went to see it, the lines were around the block.
Oh, yeah.
For weeks. It's not like it died off. People were going back to see it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I was one of them. Okay.
That summer, I went to see it 23 times. Yeah. Now, I had a friend at the downtown cinema when it finally got there. I had a friend who let me sit through multiple showings. So I spent an entire afternoon and early evening just seeing the movie again and again. So
it was amazing. It really was. I hate to say that something that long ago is still kicking ass on the stuff that we're getting today, but the pop that movie caused has not been seen ever since. Okay. I've never seen those kind of lines at any other movie ever.
That's true. That's true. We only had one theater for a long time. It was the Crump Theater, which I had never seen lines like that for any movie outside of what they had at Crump when Mary Poppins first came out. Mary Poppins, the line for that thing was clear around the block, and Star Wars just beat it all out. So,
it was crazy.
Yeah.
It really was. But I have this thing. Would you like me to pull up your campaigns?
Oh, yes. Yes. That would be great.
We can look at this. Yes, we can.
Oh, yes.
I got the link over here in the chat. Everybody, look, go take a look at this while we talk about it.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun doing those videos. I've got one I'm working on right now, which focuses on our Wookiee friend over there on the left, Mickey Walton, really great supporting character. He's based off of one of my best friends, and he's the one who's going through pretty bad divorce. He's trying to keep a roof over his head while supporting his two young kids, and he's just basically, living life, just basically, living to death, and he's got no real hopes about trying to find somebody else who he can share his life with and the like. And then all of a sudden that young lady on the far right is comes into his life and turns it inside out, upside down, every which way you can. And so they make up the other half of our storylines. And we have some pretty good supporting characters. We have Jamal, the homeless person I was mentioning earlier. We got the two in the back. Those are two game geeks, Stephen and Toby, who are friends to the end, but they are the fiercest, most argumentative game players you've ever seen in your life. And and then a character we're going to introduce in the 5th issue of Mark and D, Joe Squarebody, who's in the background with the chin, and he's going to try to get me into shape. Good luck with that. And but we're doing this, and we also have the Genesis of a Fanboy thing, which collects our comic strips. One of my future projects is we're going to have these all collected in softbound thing, so we can actually get into bookstores. So I've been trying to convince our local bookstore to carry our comic, but I think they're kind of, well, if it isn't in an actual book form, then I don't think we can carry that. So, all right, well, I'll just spend the money. So we'll have it. But anyway, I'm just having a blast with this. I'm hoping one day I'll be able to just, shut down the extra job I pull in to accommodate our expenses, and I can just live off this for a while. And because it's never a hard work for me. It's just a pleasure to come in, sit down, come up with something really, really great with our characters. And I had a real nice Thanksgiving yesterday. I had my niece and her sister over for our Thanksgiving dinner, and she's never actually been in my at our apartment before, and I was able to show her all the.
She was never exposed to what you do before.
Yeah. She knew, but I knew she was an artist also, and and she's very talented. She hasn't done a whole lot with it since then. I'm trying to encourage her. You really need to do something with this because you're very talented, and I might actually see if she can collaborate with me on some stuff. So, but I brought her into my abode. I gave her the Dracula thing, enter freely of your own will, and she's immediately going, "That can't be good." so brought her in here. Her eyes just kind of bugged out. So because I basically a creator stated that you really to get yourself in the move, you really ought to surround yourself with all the things you love. And I said, will this qualify? And she goes, yeah.
and see, that's the catchphrase for the network, for all the things we love.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I'm trying to do, surround myself with all the things I love. And that means talking to the people that create them.
Yeah.
And everything, you know, every aspect of it. I kind of want to play this trailer.
Oh.
Should I play the trailer?
Sure, play it. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Do this. Cool.
I love
it.
They're tales of friendship, loyalty, impossible love. About rising from the most brutal beatdowns to astounding victory. It's about finding that one person who can look beyond the book's cover and find the magic within. You can look the world over for riches and fame, but it means nothing without that spark of humanity and the sacrifice you're willing to make to tell your story and touch the people who hear it. Yeah, this is a superhero comic. We just don't wear the union suits.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that.
Like that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a little look. See, this should be Mark and D.
That's us climbing. I always imagined if we ever turned this thing into a TV show, I'd be going to the John Denver estate and see if we could get the theme for Higher Ground for that, because that's just how we've lived our lives. We're just looking for higher ground and trying to rise above the normal and go into the impossible. So, but yeah, it's a little thing I think would be good. Now, Jess is a fanboy. While Justin Hayward is still alive, I would love to get one of his songs. There's Mickey and Tandy. As you can see, Mickey's got his Wookiee face on. Just she is so up and positive. He's of course the cynic. And
he don't look happy, does he?
He's just kind of, I really want to get you involved in the crap my life is, but she gives him a glimmer of hope. We did a holiday special, Christmas issue, which is one of the best things I think I've ever written. And on top of that, it's the most violent thing I've ever written, because there's a stabbing, there's a back alley brawl, there's bloodletting, somebody almost dies, but in the end, it comes out okay. So
I'm okay with a little violence in comics.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you got to have somebody do something evil in order to need a superhero in the first place, right?
Well, we did an issue where Dina meets up with the devil and tells him, go stuff it. So, because he's literally after me. He's decided, well, we need a few cartoonists for the boys to get a good laugh, and that Gauguin is such a head case. But now there's our gang at the Comic Cave. Jamal Thorogood, our resident TV connoisseur and historian. I don't want to even think about the size of the book that thing's going to be, because he's trying to cover everything from the first images of Mr. Stookie from England on television to the nuances of different strokes. I don't even want to know what size of book that's going to be. I doubt you'll be able to bring it in on a pitchfork. So, and then our two gamers, Stephen and Toby, who are, they will get into contention over every little minute thing you can in gaming. So I'm kind of doing with them. I'm kind of doing a salute to the days when I used to do role playing. So, but and then we also have our silly cats, Samson and Snowflake, who cooperate on way too much evil. As you can see, they're having a nice Christmas feast on the icicles on our tree. So, and we cover our tree full of Hallmark ornaments of Star Wars, Batman 66, Doctor Who, Star Trek, everything. All my favorite cartoon characters, and
because of the kids, ours is covered with those too, right?
Yeah. Well, the kids can enjoy them too, but I like them. So,
I mean, normally it'd be like traditional Christmas, but the kids are like, wait a minute, Grandpa's into comics. We like comics. What about this? Before you know it, Thanos and everybody's on the tree, right?
Yeah. But and in later issues, we also meet in the Genesis series, we meet my mom and my brothers, Tim and Kenny. And on Dina's side, we get to meet her mom and dad and her two sisters, Teresa and Brenda, and her brother Kent. And that's basically how we actually met. The kids talked me into playing hide and seek, and I was trying to find someplace to hide. They said, "Well, hide in the shrubs." Those shrubs are scrawny. They will find me immediately. And all of a sudden, this hand appears out of a tree going, "Hey, come on up here." And she pulled me in like I weighed nothing. And there she was. I think I was already in love by the time I reached that top branch. And since then, we've had our ups and downs. As you can see in that cover there, we're doing the Dark Knight and Robin thing.
Yep.
She is a gazelle. She still is. But me, that's pretty much how I leap from tree to tree. No.
I'm looking at
me killed.
I'm checking out the sidebar here now. It looks like you have nine or 10 books already.
We have 8 books. Well, we have 8 books on hand right now, and we have 2 more that are at the printer. They're being printed as we speak. So we got the last of the flaws and stuff taken care of, and they should have them in my hands in about 2 weeks.
So yeah, you got the PDF of number 1, of number 2, number 3, and number 4 of Mark and D.
Yeah.
And then you have Genesis of a Fanboy number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Yep.
And those are all PDFs. And then we get into the physical or PDF, the autographed Mark and D Star Wars homage.
Well, there's a little thing when Tandy and Mickey first meet up. He's kind of left breathless In fact, he can't even speak to her until after she leaves the comic cave. And he's still determined, well, she doesn't need to be messed up in my life and everything. But still, she knew who Christopher Lee was. Man.
How many pages are there?
And that night, they dream.
Nice. How many pages are these books?
The Genesis ones run about 32 to 36 pages,
Okay.
and the regular actual semi-true adventures of Mark and Dee run about 26 with the cover, not including the covers. So
and no ads, right? Just comics.
No ads. No ads.
Just comics.
We have a house ad, I guess you would call it. It's just a promo for our next books. And but no, I don't do any advertising for mine, at least while I can afford it.
Well, I do have the guy to send you to when you're ready to bind these up into trades.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
He does publishing, print, everything, right? He'll put you in Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all that. He does everything, as well as fulfillment on campaigns.
Oh, I could always use
He
some.
does it all. So
Okay.
afterwards, I will hook you up with a name and a contact to get a hold of, man. Because look, and I've been promoting what he does for a long time, because it means that you, as an artist, can go from this project to that project without having to worry about getting these things in boxes and sent out.
Yeah.
None of that, no bags, boards. You don't have to pay for none of that. He does everything, and the cost to you is zero.
Oh man, that'd be great.
The cost to you is zero, because the cost comes out of the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't affect you whatsoever. It doesn't come out of your bottom line. The cost that he takes is out of the shipping cost.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Okay.
Dude is amazing. His name is RJ Carter. He's on Facebook, and the company is called Critical Blast Fulfillment and Publishing, and they are awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll check. I'll just make a little note of that. What was his name?
RJ Carter.
RJ Carter and
criticalblast.com.
That is a cool name.
Mhm.
Critical Blast. Okay.
It's a website, as well, like a news website. You drop your press release there when you're bringing out something new, all that, right? He's all around comic guy and has been for a long time. But when I met him and he told me, he's like, this is what I want to do, I was like, oh, I'm 100% behind this. And I started telling people, hey, man, how'd you like to finish this book and go right to work on the next book without having to worry about none of that other crap?
Oh, yeah.
No fulfillment worries, no shipping hassles, no, oh, my God, they upped the shipping price on me and I'm going to get screwed. None of that.
That's one of the things that kind of is the handling the business end of things takes me away sometimes from the drawing board, and I can actually, that would be great.
You might have your ideas all fresh for where you want to go with the next book, and you can't go to work on it because you got to get these out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then those ideas might diminish or fade, and it's like, no. I like the idea where you guys can just go right back to work.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's my plan for this week. So I don't have to worry about dropping over at Kroger, do my 5 or 6 hours, and get out of there. Usually I'm sore than crap because we're getting old. We're getting to that point where, oh man, I can't do this crap no more. And
that's what I know a lot of people lose the spark when they get into that side of it, and they have to bag and board all these, and they have to do this and that. And like you said, sometimes in the middle of your campaign, the shipping costs go up, but you've already established your shipping price, so you're going to take a hit on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like having somebody else handle all of that, and all you got to do is draw. That's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's never a job with me. It is an absolute pleasure. So, and I just can't wait to get to the next one. So
Exactly.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. RJ, be watching. He's going to be getting a hold of you.
Okay, great. I appreciate that.
He's one of our sponsors as well. So,
Okay.
he does a show Friday nights here sometimes. And, he's a good dude. And the thing I love about him is 5 years in, Mark. 5 years I've known him. Nobody has ever come to me and said, man, that dude screwed up my stuff. Not one time have I had anybody come to me and say they got something from him that was damaged or they didn't get it, or a creator that went, man, he didn't do me right. I've never heard anybody complain about his service.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Thank you for
that recommendation. I appreciate that.
In this day and age, if you ain't got at least one hater, you're really doing something right.
Yeah.
Okay?
The man knows how to handle his business. Yay!
Exactly. So I'm looking at this, the physical. I love this one, the Star Wars homage. What else do we got?
We have the Mark and D #2 is our origin story.
Okay.
It's also covered in Genesis of a Fanboy, but it's slightly different. It's still the basic story. She got me in a tree, and how we basically handled some really dark times. I was getting bullied at school, getting beaten up and stuff for no reason other, and he's a comic book fan. I don't get him, And she went through a very hazy period when we were still kids. She had scoliosis, and the cure that they settled on was she had to wear a body brace for most of her teen years.
Oh, I had a friend as well that was in a full crotch to shoulders cast for a long time. Right?
And she had to wear that for up to, I think, about four years.
Wow. And, I think Greg had to wear that thing for 2.5 years, I think.
Yeah.
But man, it's like we would all go to his house and basically wait on him because he's our friend and he couldn't do nothing. Right?
She was really looking at doing some gym. She wanted to be on the junior high cheerleading thing, and that pretty much canceled all of that. She couldn't climb a tree for a while, and she loved climbing trees. But we had each other's backs. She gave me encouragement, and I gave her encouragement. And eventually, that thing came off, and she was. The sky was the limit for her after that. So, but. Yeah, we had our breakups, our little jealousy things and stuff, and we grew apart a few times, but eventually we got back together. And one day in '83, I bit the knee. I went, "Will ya?" And she goes, "I guess I'm not doing anything else." So, let me check my calendar. Yeah.
Look, if she answered with "I guess," she was all in.
Yeah, I was hoping. So
she was all in. She was kind of waiting.
Yeah,
she was kind of waiting. If that was the answer, I guess. Then she knew it was coming. She was waiting for it. It's probably a "what took you so long" kind of thing.
It was kind of touch and go here when that happened about whether we could actually make it, but we made it. It's a marriage that's lasted more than 41 years, so we've done pretty good, I think. So
you got to work at it. There's give, there's take, there's compromise, but never do something to hurt each other, and you should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever, that's for anybody.
That's
don't
true.
do things to hurt each other, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to work through anything. But as soon as you start throwing them jabs,
Yeah.
it's over. Okay, you can't do that. You can't insult each other. You can't be mean to each other. You know, you gotta sometimes just, okay, you know, let's compromise on
That's
that.
true.
Right?
That's true.
Or I'll give you this one if you give me that one. Some kind of compromise, right? There has to be that kind of communication if you really want it to work. And why do it if you don't want it to work?
Yeah.
It's work. You got to put in the work to make a marriage last. You know?
Yeah. Well, we did find the one thing that has kept us going as long as we have. We are horrible with firearms. we couldn't hit the side of a barn if it was 3 feet in front of us. So finally, we finally emptied our guns and said, "I'll tell you what, let's just keep on going." Okay.
Well,
we'll just put the 48s away, and we'll just keep on doing what we're doing. What do you think, babe? She goes, "Good, because every time the recoil on this gun goes off, it hurts my arm."
yeah.
And I never hit you anyway, so
everything is not for everybody. You know, I mean,
that's true.
Myself, I'm not allowed to have firearms because I got this weed felony 20 years ago or 40 years ago now, I guess. Long time ago, I got this felony for weed in Arizona.
For weed. Oh,
yeah, for
man.
weed.
It's practically legal now.
It's legal half the country now.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's like, but I actually had to go to prison for it.
Oh,
right?
man.
And caught a felony for it. And that affected my life forever. Yeah. Jobs, anything I wanted to do, I was under that scrutiny, you know. Hey, what can you say? I was 20. I was a kid, you know. I was having fun. You're supposed to have fun, people.
Yeah.
Okay. My mistake was where
I'm allergic to fun, so what can I say?
If I had been in California instead of Arizona, it'd have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was across the state line, I was on the other side of the river, and that made it illegal. This some of the stupidest stuff that I've ever, you know. Do you know you can stand in 4 states at once and be legal in some and illegal in others?
See, I'm illegal. Now I'm here. Now I'm illegal. Now I'm okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like that, man. It's some of the things are kind of weird, but
just taunt those state troopers.
You know, but everybody it's about having fun. We try to have fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, you figured it out. You're like, I love comics at a young age. You figured out a way to be involved in the thing you love, right?
I had a date one time. My mom was driving, because I wasn't driving at the time. My mom was driving us to a school dance, and it was at a time when Dean and I were kind of on the fence. And so I took this girl, and she's going, "So I hear you're into comics." And I went, "Yes, I am." Says, "Oh, well, it's always nice for somebody to have a hobby like that." And I said, "Well, I'm hoping it'll become more than a hobby. I'm actually studying the works of Jack Kirby and Neil Adams and John Romita and the like, and hoping I'm going to turn it into a full-time job." "Oh, that's interesting. But what are you going to do when you grow up?" Ooh. And my mom just seethed. she just, as we were getting out of the car, she looks at me and goes, "Did you hear what that?" Mom, calm down. I get this stuff 3 times a day at school.
Yeah.
It bounces off me like water off a duck now. So don't worry, take a chill. It's all right. So
yeah, that's crazy, man. For me, it was kind of weird because I was a mythology nerd, right? I was all into the gods.
Oh,
didn't matter what, Norse, Egypt, I didn't care. I was into all of them, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't a comic kid. I was probably Star Wars age, 12, 13 when Star Wars came out, when I looked at a comic rack and saw Thor on the cover fighting the Hulk.
That's how I got introduced in the Norse mythology.
And see, for me, it was the other way around. The Norse mythology introduced me to the comics because I looked over and I went, wait a minute, that's Thor. Hey, Ma, can I get this? Because when I was a kid, even at 12 and 13, Ma paid for everything. We didn't have money unless we were out there shoveling snow or mowing lawns, right? So you're at the grocery store, that stupid spinner rack's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay, Ma, can I get this? She said, are you going to read it? Because she knew my likes, you know, you read like more serious stuff than that. I was like, no, it's Thor, Ma, I'm going to read it.
I was real lucky when I was a kid because I lived right in the downtown district of Columbus, which at that time was the hub of commerce. Right. Back in the 60s, and there were 3 stores within a block of me that carried huge spinner racks. There was Cummins Bookstore, there was G.C. Murphy's, and then there was Nagel's Bookstore and Cigar Shop, which had 2 full spinner racks and 3 wall racks of comics. Right. If you couldn't find it at Nagel's, it hadn't been printed yet.
Right.
And they were my regular stops downtown. Now I got a 50-cent allowance every week, so I had my choice of either 3 good comics that fell under the tax code at that point, or I could blow it all on 1 issue of Famous Monsters of Filmland. And it was a rare time when I could actually get a Famous Monsters of Filmland without going to my grandparents and going, Grandma, I'd like this. And could you get that for me? And Grandma would go, well, it's got monsters in it. That'll make you crazy. So, Mom or Grandma, I'm already there. So, what's it gonna hurt?
Yeah. For me, it was kind of funny because the one book, of course, the one that I picked that I wanted to read the first time was like the climax of a crossover between the Avengers and the Defenders.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So I ended up having to go pillage through all these spinner racks I could find, trying to find the previous issues of the story. It was like Avengers 116 to 119 and Defenders 7 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, finding something that was already been in the rack for a couple months means you're digging into the back of each slot, trying maybe it's back here. Yeah. A couple of them were crumbled up and smashed in the back, but it's the only ones I could find. If I want to read the story, I got to buy these, you know, and we didn't think about condition back then. We folded them up, put them.
Oh, same here. I've got lots of comics in there that are well wore because we kept rereading them all the time. So.
They were good enough to read again.
Yeah. So I lost a lot of my books to the firehouse. My stepfather, who was evil, he decided, well, we needed to get rid of a whole bunch of my comics, and so I wound up losing a lot of my Batman books and my Spider-Man, a lot of the Marvels. I only had, like, when we finally left that place in Newbern, I only had like a handful of Marvel comics from the 60s left over. But fortunately, DC for a little while gave me an outlet to get revenge because they put all those cool Batman stories into this compendium called Showcase Presents. The big
I got one of them big old thick giant things too.
Oh man. Yeah, those phone book size things that had all of those formative comics right there. The ones that to this day I still use those as to study certain movements and things, because you can't do better than Adams and Irv Novick when it comes to Batman stories. So
Well, I mean, I go back in that. This is where I got my bad opinion of Batman's Rogue Gallery, was from that big book. Because I'm looking through this whole thing, and it's like Batman was knocked out like 14 times. And not once did any of these guys just run a knife across his throat, right, and put an end to that,
Yeah.
Once.
Oh no, that's not fun. I'm not going to pull his mask off. Not a bit. No.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. And it was like, come on, man. Maybe don't kill him. Kill Robin or something. Sure enough, they killed Robin.
Well, eventually they did. Yeah, one of them at any rate. So, but anyway, well, I'm just so. Well,
yeah. Let's see some physical. Let me see some physical. Let me see them things.
Oh, okay. Here is this is the aforementioned
the Christmas story. Yeah.
Christmas special, super holiday special, and it's just basically a love letter to all of our friends and families. This is the aftermath of the back alley brawl. That nobody came out of that unscathed, but we have a little tribute right here to all my dear friends, family, friends that sadly have passed away. Just about every few days I hear of some of my longtime friends passing away.
I tell people that all the time. The only curse of growing old is the amount of people you lose.
Yeah, that's true.
And it really is. I mean, I don't mind getting old. I'm still having fun. But like you said, every day I find out that a friend passed or is on his way out, or you know what I mean? Something like that. And it's like the older you get, your favorite bands, your favorite movie stars, whatever, they just keep checking out on us.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really lucky. I got to meet Neil Adams before he passed away. He was, it was like the year before, whatever it was, I forget exactly what it was. Everybody thought it was COVID, and it wasn't. It was some sort of degenerative thing that just really ate him alive. And he seemed to be making the recovery because he started doing his podcasts on Facebook for a while, and then they came and said he had really bad relapse. But I got to meet him and tell him, you are one of my greatest inspirations, because when I saw your Batman work, it just drove me to want to do that kind of work. And of course, there will never be another Neil Adams. I'm certainly not going to be him, but he was just an inspiration, and he's going to be so terribly missed. But he did a beautiful picture I've got somewhere back here of Adam West and Burt Ward.
I can see that, the one up on top.
Yeah.
For those of you, that one up there, you could see it. And right. A photo. I'm assuming that's an autographed photo of the Riddler.
Yes, it is. I got to meet
Catwoman.
I got to meet Frank Gorshin a few years ago. See, my deal was, when I was a kid, they wouldn't let me play any other characters but the Riddler, because I was the only guy who could do that laugh. And I got to meet Frank. He was with Adam at this Mid-Ohio convention. And I told him my situation. I said, they wouldn't let me play anybody but you. And he says, well, why? Because I'm the only guy who could do the laugh in our group. He said, can you still do it? I went, oh, yeah, I can. He says, well, now I got to hear this. So And he went, could you sit down here for a little, go take a smoke break? Just collect the money, sign my name on the picture. And if somebody goes, what are you doing sitting there in Frank Gorshin's chair? Just do the laugh. They'll never be able to tell the difference. Just don't forget the money, kid.
Don't forget the money, for sure. We actually have a Batman writer that contributes a show to the network. Chuck Dixon does.
Oh, yeah.
We do his show on our network.
I love his work. So
I love doing this because I get to bring so many people out here for people to see, people like you. Okay, look, you never know how a show's going to go with somebody you've never met. Okay, every time somebody like new, and I'm all for bringing new people out to the network. Okay, that's growth is the whole thing. Okay, bouncing you off other fan bases and stuff. That's what my whole premise is based on, right?
Well,
so,
thank you.
But you never know. Okay, you never know what they might be a one-word answer person, right? You never know what you're going to get when you're interviewing somebody new.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with this because you have been a great guest. You've had plenty to say both about your past, your inspirations, your book itself. Like I said, man, you just never know when you're meeting somebody for the first time how well that's going to show out in the YouTube land, whatever you want to call it. You know.
Well, I sure do. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
This is great.
Yeah,
you guys got to go check this out, man, because look, he has a body of work behind it. Okay, it's not just one book. There's over a half a dozen books, 8 books here, and 2 more in the works.
We're coming, and softbound's in the spring. So, and it will make it worth your while. So, yeah, please do check out our Kickstarter campaign. We got a couple of weeks left. I really like to see us get over the top and really make this thing move. So,
well, I can tell you right now, if something happens where I come up with a little extra money, I'm getting #1 physical of both series.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
And then, because I'm one of them people, it's like, I'm going to get the first book. If I like it, then we go from there, right?
Okay.
Not everybody likes everything. You know how that is.
Oh,
but I always like to have #1 because I'm a collector as well.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? My question for you is those #1s, do you still have first prints available of those #1s?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. That's the collector coming out of me. Are they first prints?
Yeah, there's still they still have the cover thing they put on there to protect the covers. Nice. So that was a nice little touch. Well, originally they just basically threw papers on top of them, and then finally decided, why don't we just get a wraparound cover thing that you can easily remove and not compromise the comic book, and it's wonderful. Comics Wellspring does our printing, and they just do a fantastic job with it. This is how I've always imagined my comics to one day look, and they exceeded my expectations.
Nice.
So
I've had my dealings with them. Let me just leave it that. A lot of people use them in our sphere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right here in Southwest Michigan, okay, so I'm not far from you as it is, right? I like to hit the local cons, the Grand Rapids Comic Con, Hall of Heroes down there in Elkhart. I go to that one.
Yeah. And I'm going to get up there someday.
I just walk the floor and interview people. You know what I mean? Right there live on the con floor, and then I post it up to the YouTube and show everybody, hey man, you come on down here this weekend, check out Mark's here or whatever. Right? That's another one of the things I like to do. If they'll give me a press pass, I will give them promotion.
Cool.
So any cons that you know of that like to have somebody come out and talk about them, that's what I do. I talk about all this stuff. We got 30 shows every week. We're talking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. I have a blast. I love meeting people like you. everybody watching, go check out Mark and D. Go check this out. The link is over here in the chat. On Kickstarter right now. Is that Kickstarter? Yeah, Kickstarter.
Yeah.
There's so many of them now you can't even keep track anymore who's where.
Yeah, we're there. We're over there getting into trouble. So
well, I mean, I'm one of them people that tells everybody, go put your book on every platform there is.
yeah.
You know, get as many eyes on it as you can. There's Indiegogo, there's Fund My Comic, there's all these other platforms that you can also run a campaign on and get it in front of a different audience. Because some people are like, oh, I don't use that one.
Yeah, we're
I only use this one. Okay, so then people that only use that one aren't going to see your book unless that one's the one your book's on.
Yeah.
You see, so I encourage everybody, man, just use all of them.
Yeah.
Use them all. Get your book out there everywhere. Amazon, anywhere you can. Get it out there and get it seen. It's not going to turn into the next Turtles if nobody knows about it. You know?
That's true. That's true.
Self-promotion is the hardest part of this for you guys, and I know that. Okay? It's the hardest part to get out there and blow your own horn.
Yeah.
Right? But that's why I do this, is to help you guys get out here, get seen. It's cool. Drop your link in the Madness Facebook group once a day. Okay? We got 3,000 people over there, and the scroll moves really fast. There's a lot of people that drop their campaigns there, and I encourage them, drop your link to your campaign once a day through the whole campaign. Because some people ain't been there for a few days and they haven't looked at what's happening in the Madness for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
So if you post it once and then forget about it for a week, it might not get seen by 80% of our people. It'll just get pushed down the scroll by other people's campaigns that are posting once a day. You see what I'm saying? It just pushes everything down. So I tell everybody, just post once a day. You know, it's part of the promotional aspect of it. You have to get out there, get seen in as many places as you can. And that's the work part. Okay, you did the fun part.
Yeah.
You did the fun part, drawing it all, writing it all. You know, the work part is making sure people know about it. You know, and that's where I try to help. And then the fulfillment and that part, that's where RJ tries to help. We try to get you guys right back to work.
Yeah.
You know,
I really thank you for that. So
no, I thank you for giving me something to do. I'm serious, man. Everybody's like always thanking me, and I'm like, guys, if you weren't making this stuff, I wouldn't be out here telling people about it. You gave me a new direction. Okay, a little bit of my backstory. When COVID wiped out everything that summer,
yeah,
I started doing a once a month online con. Okay, and we'd have 60 people out over the weekend and talk to them all and have panels and everything. And I did it once a month for 3.5 years, right? Yeah. Until the cons came back and they, you know, and they didn't need that anymore. And then this just progressed into a network of shows, but it started because of COVID, because I had all these friends that had nowhere to sell their books. All the cons they were going to go to that summer got shut down. Half of them, they didn't even get their money back for. You know, I mean, it was a really bad time. And that was what started me doing this. So, you know, but if you guys weren't creating stuff, this would have never happened. None of the stuff I'm doing would have ever happened.
Yeah.
So I thank you guys for giving me something to do in my old age. You know, because I'm not an artist and I'm not a writer and none of that stuff. But I am a fan, a huge fan. And that's what drives what I do. You know, I appreciate you, my friend.
All right. Well, same to you. By the way, great Sandy hat. So.
Yeah. we got all our pins on there. See, Critical Black.
Oh yeah.
We got Pops. Pops is over here. We got Slaughterville right there.
All right.
Everybody sends me pins for my other hat, which is covered. Okay, my other hat's covered with pins. But I only put a few on this one. You know, I hear a grandson coming down the stairs.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God. I'm going to give you the floor. This is one thing I do on every show. I hate to leave somebody thinking they didn't get to say something that they had to say, or I forgot to say that, or you never asked me about that. So is there anything we didn't cover that you want to make sure people hear?
Oh, just basically come check out our Kickstarter while we're still up. I just love doing what I'm doing. I love the stories that I'm telling. Yeah, we're not the sword and sorcery guys in capes getting into cosmic slobber knockers and things, but you're gonna find some really great characters. You're gonna find outside of me, because I'm the Mickey Mouse of the bunch, you know. I'm
You're the Batman. I can see it right there. You're the Batman.
I'm just the guy who kind of holds it all together and prays things don't get out of control. And everybody else around, you know, you see what happened to Mickey once Donald Duck and Goofy and all them guys showed up. The Disney output for Mickey Mouse cartoons went way down the hill, and it all became about everybody else. But I'm just fine with that, because they're great characters to work with. My wife especially, right now we're doing a storyline in the comic strip that appears on Facebook about how she spent time after we had our first big breakup, and it's a really great story about her past and the things she loved before she ever met me, and ruined her completely. So
ruined her for the better.
Yeah, well, so she ain't thrown me out yet. So
there you go.
But she, it was. I figured, well, it's high time they stopped hearing about my silly problems. They started hearing about what she was doing at the time. So I came up with a great story for her, and kind of a build up to when we first met, and then the things that happened after our first breakup that really, really touched her life and made her a great person. And
where do people find that comic strip at?
That's on my Facebook page, Mark C. Dooley. And it appears every couple of days. I've been kind of away from it for a bit, but I just started picking up on it. And we're going to have, during this week, I'm hoping to have about 6 or 7 comic strips up before the weekend's out. Nice. So just charging at it. It's fun. So
I want to pull everybody's attention to right there on the side of the screen. You see 1 through 4 of Mark and D and 1 through 5 of Genesis. $45, guys.
Also included in that, which I did not have room to put because they have restrictions on how much you will also get these Super Holiday Special. And a bookmark. We are having bookmarks made right now, and they're really nice looking bookmarks. So they should be, all that should be in my hands in just another couple of weeks. So they were getting ready to, they were just getting ready to print them the other day, and there were flaws that were keeping them from getting into the link to my drop boxes, and some idiot who assembled the Dropbox for number 5 forgot to put in pages 5 and 6. And if I ever find the guy who did that, I'm running him out of town on a rail, tarred and feathered. So you better never get around me.
You can probably blame him.
Yeah.
Crom is the one that causes all of our tech issues, all of our problems.
Of course, it's a nose picker.
Yes. Crom, he doesn't care. Okay, he likes comics, but he doesn't like the people that make them.
Crom, you scum! But anyway, so
like I said, though, you got 10 books there, guys, for $45. You can get the whole bundle.
Yep.
10 books for $45. That's a great deal. Okay, I love $5 books. I love.
And you're also in that package. You're also going to get an original sketch.
Yes, I saw that right at the bottom.
Which means I got to go back to the drawing board and work some more.
Give this guy something to do. Back on that tier and make him draw. Make him draw for you.
Yeah, I'm off all this week, so I need things to do, guys. Okay, just put me to work. I'm ready.
You know he's going to draw the book, but give him something to draw specifically.
Where's Lugo? I'm ready to take him on too. So let me get that can of spinach here.
Mark, it's great talking to you. We do have other people in the network that also do interview shows. Other people you can get with and get on their shows. If you look at our YouTube channel and you look at the playlists, every playlist is a different show hosted by a different set of people. And they all have their own audiences. So this one might reach this audience, and then Laurie's show reaches a completely different audience. You know what I mean? It's like every show has their people that watch them. So if you look at that playlist, you'll find a couple other shows that you might want to come out on.
Okay.
You know, and just reach out to me, man. I'll put you in touch with whoever you want to talk to.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And it's great to meet you.
You too, man.
I gotta admire anybody who's called Mad Joe.
I'm not Mad Joe. No, actually, that Pops Van Zandt, that's two nicknames shoved together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's like all my son's friends and stuff, they all call me Pops.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But Van Zandt was given to me by a special lady. I used to hit the karaoke bar and I could sing some Ronnie. Okay.
Yeah.
I could sing some Leonard Skinner like nobody's business. And she started calling me Van Zandt.
Yeah.
long time ago. And that just stuck, you know?
Yeah.
So when I started doing this, I was like, all right, I'm going to take my two favorite nicknames and I'm going to put it together. And that's going to be my stage name. Cool. But it's all been fun, man. It's all been fun. Even the times when you run into those haters and they try to cause you problems, it's like, for me, they're speed bumps.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna high center my rear wheels up on top of that thing and I'm gonna floor it as I leave that obstacle or speed bump behind moving forward. I don't have time for that stuff. I'm trying to help people sell books, right?
Yeah. Well,
you know. So this is our aim, is to help people like you get seen, help you sell books. Anybody out there watching, we're going to leave this up as the featured video for a day or two so that people can, you know, anybody comes in for the replay. If you come in for the replay, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of Mark and Dee and their amazing adventures. And any last words, brother?
Just thank you for having me, and hope you all check out our Kickstarter and get some really good comics. They're just a labor of love, and there's a lot more to come. So
that's awesome. See, a lot more to come. That's another reason to get involved in a fan base like this. You know, it ain't gonna be over tomorrow.
Yeah,
there's gonna be more. So great talking to you, Mark. Tell Dee I said hello, and maybe we'll get her out here next time.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I want to hear some of her side of this story. You know?
I can't wait to see what she has to say. Oh, he's out of his mind.
I do have one other show that
pays the bills, so you know.
I got one other show that I'd like you to consider. You've got the voices. You have that. I can tell you've sat in those seats, right?
Yeah.
You've sat in the Riddler seat. You know who the Riddler is. You've sat in the Joker seat. Can you sit in not your character, but any of the other characters in your book? Can you be them?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We have a show called Fourth Wall Interviews, where I interview the character, not the creator.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the character's telling me about his life, his world, his powers, what he does, who he is, not the creator. It's not about the book or the process or the art. It's about the character and the world he lives in.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, dude, I'm having fun with that one. We've only done a few of those, but I'm having a lot of fun with that show. I'm always trying to come up with new ideas for something fresh. You know, that was our most recent, and it seems to be that people like it, so I'm going to keep doing it. If at some point you want to come out as the Wookiee,
okay,
you can anytime. Just let me know, man. And you just put up an avatar of him in front of you, and you be him.
Yep.
You know, I think it'd be great. I'd love to see you on that show too.
Okay, well, we'll give it a try.
Cool. You all, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope the rest of your weekend is wonderful. We got more stuff coming at you later today. As always, it's Friday. We got Killer Karen at 7. I'm not sure if RJ has a show tonight on Critical Blast Weekly, but we have the ADHD Theater and Freewheeling Friday. So we got a full day coming at you, full schedule of programming. Y'all have a great day. I'm still kind of recovering from all that food I ate yesterday. I'm still feeling that. But yeah, it's a good day to be alive, people. Love your people. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Bye, Mark.
Bye-bye.
When a series of shipping disasters points to a mysterious sea monster, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson leave the comfort of Baker Street and board a freighter where they encounter unexpected betrayal and come face to face with the enigmatic Captain Nemo and his submarine, the Nautilus. As they delve deeper into the case, they uncover a conspiracy involving a Russian Tsar with an airship that rains destruction on unsuspecting cities. With time running out and the world on the brink of war, the heroes must use all their skills and resources to stop a massive conspiracy and prevent global conflict. From Eisner-winning writer Mike Baron and illustrator Richard Bonk, dive into the depths of adventure and unravel the mysteries of the sea with the world's greatest detective in Leviathan. Order now at baroncomics.com.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands are great.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands are great.